Roguelike, a genre of video games where the main goal is going through trials again and again till you win, with each run being slightly different. Most of you have surely played one, 80s, Binding of Isaac, Slay the Spire. But the interesting part is that not only are all of these games I just named out roguelikes, they're all indie. The thing is that since all of these games are built on procedural generation, you do not need to build a big world as in all the AAA games. Instead, you create the illusion of going through something different, which can be tricky, but it is less time consuming, making it an indie game staple. If you're still watching and don't understand what I mean by illusion, then you don't need to worry, I'll explain that later. So, the plan. Make a video game, obviously. Multiple playable characters, visuals that are not too terrible, fun gameplay, and that's it. Simple. Like, yeah, story is important and visuals too, but my idea is that I do not want to make a game that has good visuals as its only redeeming quality, because we had enough of those already.
It allows us to have 16 times the detail.
Though the one thing I want to make important, and I should have named earlier, is how much you will be able to see ahead. Like, it's a dungeon. Nobody there is alive. Why should there be light? I'm going to make it like we're going through a cave and the only thing that needs light is you. I want to make it in 2D because that's the type of environment most roguelike use, and it also makes it easier to make and draw sprites. Before I start cooking, the only thing you need to know is that I'm going to use Godot as my game engine of choice, even though I'd love it if even a single person wrote down a comment, which if you do I will read it, or at least try to. If someone writes me an essay about why I should use something else, then all I can say is that I don't care. I just use Godot because it's the software that I have the most experience in. By the way, there won't be exactly any debugging in this video, since I thought of making a video on this after starting the project, so yeah, I will be just speaking about what I have so far and how I got there. Thanks. So even though it is cliché as fuck, I chose the most basic roster for RPG characters because it just works, which is the Warrior, Wizard and Ranger, though I changed their names a little bit. I drew all of them and made animations by drawing sprite sheets. Basically, the idea is that the Slayer is going to be very fast and have close distance combat. The Slayer will have lifesteal, coupled with abilities that allow him to boost his damage by losing health. It sounds good on paper so far, but will probably turn out to be a balancing nightmare, but hey, it's a single player game, I don't give a fuck. With Hunter, I want to make it so that if you could summarize his kit into a single word, it would be preparation. Like, he will be able to scout the upcoming areas, place traps, aggro enemies and watch shit go down. I feel like there won't be the balancing problem with Hunter as much as with Slayer, but it will more be about actually making his abilities work together as a whole. Like, I made some abilities for him already, but I feel like they have the same problem that I just explained. I made one where he shoots a lit arrow that turns into a torch after landing, one where it is just a big long charge, big damage, and the star of the show, a bear trap. Oh, did you see that? Game of the year? Anyone? Anyone? Mage. I kinda mainly worked on the Hunter when it came to abilities and made some extremely basic ones for Slayer that they're not even that much worth of showing, but like, here you go. I want Mage to have more splash damage so he can hit multiple enemies at a time. I don't know which ones to give him now, but the one I know I will do is an ability where you summon a firefly to follow your cursor to check what is behind corners. Except for that, I genuinely have no idea, so if you do have an idea for an ability, then hey, write it in the comments. If any of you have ever played League of Legends, and I know there is at least one, because I can smell it through the fucking screen, please go take a shower already. But anyways, if you did, you could have picked up the fact that I said the word kid, by which I was referring to the abilities of the characters. But in my game, I want there to be something that is in League, an ultimate on their R key.
R key.
Now that I think about it, almost every game has an ultimate, but anyways. The thing is that at the start of the run, you won't have an ultimate. You will be able to get one by equipping a weapon, and each weapon will have a different ultimate. I got this idea from
Albion Online.
but like in every roguelike, you change your kit throughout the run, so it doesn't matter. The one other thing you will be able to add to your kit and have behind a key press will be a potion of your liking. At this moment in time, I only made 2 functional items, a throwable spear and a potion. The potion is basically just a healing potion, nothing too special, just heals you and has a very cool effect, which I'm very proud of. And the spear works in a way where you throw it, and after it reaches a certain distance or hits an obstacle, it ricochets, spins in the air and lands on the ground, and you have to pick it up to use it again. I made this one for the hunter, though it could fit the Slayer playstyle more. I still don't know if I should make it that all weapons are available for all the playable characters, but I think that's a no-no for now. Maybe some will be usable by 2, but that's about it. I think it would change the playstyles too much. But that's about it for the items. The only other important thing that I got down is a barrel, which you can open, and I think it looks pretty sweet. Now, the last big theme I will take on in this video is a room generation. I mentioned I would explain kind of the illusion of it at the start of the video, so here we are. By illusion, I meant the fact that there are only few locations made in the game. They are sort of reusable puzzle pieces that are actually making the game, where you can change a few bits to not make the fact that the player has gone through the same room 10 times already that obvious. Of course, some roguelikes make it that instead of generating a whole world from these puzzle pieces, they make you go into the room, clear it and go into another. And the rooms you go to in succession are randomly picked, like in Hades or Binding of Isaac. The way I made room generation in my game is that I created a bunch of rooms or corridors that each work like a puzzle piece and have entrances on some of its sides, and made a generation script that takes a room that has an entrance to nowhere and randomly picks another room that could be connected to it and throws it in there. This goes on again and again until the room limit is reached, after which all the entrances that go off to nowhere and have not been connected to a room in the process will be blocked off. Then I just added a little code to each puzzle piece that randomly picks a number, upon which it then does a few changes to the room to make it look a little bit different. I will probably use the same mechanism to spawn enemies in these rooms once I actually have some, but that's a problem for future me. Anyways, if you got to this part of the video, then I'm really happy, but also kind of surprised you sat through a video that could be considered another win for the blind. But on a serious note, it really means a lot to me that you did, and I would love to see some feedback in the comments. Any actually, like negative, positive, whatever. I just want to know what probably the only person who got this far thinks about this video and the project that I'm working on. Also, I don't think it is a good idea to make my entire channel made of videos that are part of one big series, since you should always be throwing shit at the wall and just look at what sticks. So I'm planning on making devlogs on some smaller projects like minigames, so if you have any ideas or like things you would like to see me making, then again, please write it in the comments. Thank you. Also, don't forget to subscribe!